Hello, and welcome. This is the Stanley Parable. I have played this game once before. It's different. It's good fun. And I thought I'd just play through it again because it was a while ago I last played it. And I'm cold, so I'm putting my hood up. I know it looks weird, but shut up. I have such a bad chest at the moment. I don't know what's going on. When I cough, I'm in agony. So I'm going to try and do this for as long as possible. I've changed some settings so you've got closed captions just in case you can't hear it. Or if I'm talking over it and you want to carry on reading. Now, I do have some instructions here to get to something in particular. So I'm going to try that first. I think it was something Half-Life related. I cannot remember now, but I've just got the instructions on my screen and no spoilers. So, the end is never the end. Ceridus, hello. I need to grind 197k for experience before the 5th. Also need 120 experience in the object wall. That's a long grind. I can understand if you're just going to be sticking with that all day today.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I need more volume.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Ah, shit. I accidentally alt-tabbed that. I meant to, see, I alt-tabbed out and it cancels the audio. I was gonna... Such a fail. Just gonna move the chat out of the way. So it doesn't go over the thing. Right. Shall we do that again? Quit to menu. Begin the game. Let's try that again so we get the intro video.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
That's kind of like my last
And then
job,
one
except
day,
I wasn't
something
happy.
very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so here we are. Right. What are the instructions? Exit Stanley's office. At the 2 doors, pick the one on the right. So I'm just gonna...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, pick the one on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Go into the cargo room. Where's the cargo room? Past it? Is that the cargo room?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Cargo room. Is this the cargo room straight ahead? This is the cargo room.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Love the narrator. Take the lift and jump onto the catwalk.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I just go this way? I don't know if this is the way. I do not know the way. I can't go back. Oh, hang on. Let's try pressing the correct key. No. Take the blue door 3 times. Where is the blue door? I've just got to keep going.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, blue.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Okay, I think this is it.
You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What
These are the source tiles.
Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what.
I can't jump.
Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were.
I'm out.
Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Oh look, we got the unfinished tiles up here as well. So these are the source tiles. Oh look, and it just goes on like this.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Well, he did eventually allow me to do what to do, but he made it difficult.
Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
I'm going to take this one.
Now,
it's
would
the
you say
same.
that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay, so it's an unusual game, this.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game. all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting
It's a
the
game of
demands
free will and saying that
I think the art world will really
you kind of
take
don't really have
notice.
any.
But of course, the message
It's
of the
illusion.
game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
God, that's an annoying sound. Fuck it, let the baby go to the fire.
You heartless bastard.
Yeah.
Did you do it because you hate babies or
Trash can.
purely to
Oh no,
spite
it's a
me?
flower.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
It's now
Is this any better? At last,
Minecraft.
the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel
Let me in.
ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah,
I'm in your
but
house.
You've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Oh. Let's go mining now. So yeah, this is still
Looks like
Stanley
it's going to get a
Parable.
bit dark. You brought a light?
Parable, even. Do I have a light? I don't have a light. What's this? This is not diamond.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
It's just so random. And there's 1,000,001 different endings to it.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
This isn't how the game works. Yeah, just open the glass door into nowhere.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. Genius.
I'm not sure, like, what licensing allowed them to do
You know
this.
what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any...
We're back in the office, but it's all fucked up. I have the radio still. I can't see shit. Oh. And now I'm actually back in the office. Has the narrator just given up? I think the narrator's given up. It's weird, you click and it makes a keyboard sound. Now what do I do? I think I might just need to start the game over again. Because... Is it me or is like the game getting darker? Oh, I haven't tried this door. Oh, there's a light. Screen's on. So yeah, this game is it's unusual. And it's been a while since I last played it. I think I need to start again. Begin the game again. Okay, so from the beginning. Let's play this without the instructions that I had.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, did I start something up?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh, I broke it. Broke the computer.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office
Waking
because he
up.
doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
I'll just stand on the desk. Input received, but I'll only receive one input. Yep, can't go any further than that. So there's like, I don't know how many different endings there are to this game.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
See, this is the thing. You can either go on the door on the left, go on the door on the right, then the left, go on the door right twice, then the left. I mean, we'll go this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
The
Wow.
employee lounge.
Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Go on then.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Can't remember what's down here. We will eventually do as he says.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Won't let me go off
no.
track now.
No, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right.
This one?
Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
He's truly
Let's
lost.
see, we went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Who leaves the lights on and then like just goes?
No.
Oh,
no,
this
no,
room.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to
What was his name?
am I
Employee 427? Oh, they're fired
Rubbish now.
over there.
The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay. From the
427's
top.
over there. Oh, he's kicked me out.
All of
Door's
his
still locked.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, all the computers are off. Oh no, this one's on. This one working? No, it doesn't work if I stand on it. Let's break this one. Yeah. The music they used for this was just perfect.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
There are too many doors.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Anything.
Did you move the story
I
somewhere,
didn't
or...
change anything. I didn't change shit.
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Yeah.
Right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
I want to go this way. Oh wait, I think I could just go this way. Oh, where do I go? It's actually letting me go on an adventure. Oh wait, these... I bet all these just go back to the same place anyway. Who designs a corridor like this? Zigzagging.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again.
Back at the same fucking
It's gotta
place.
be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
And you
All of his
restart the
co-workers
game
were
again.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Can this one work again? No. Really low res cups.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
What did I miss? I missed this one.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
It's a dead end. Oh.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Okay, won. That's the game over. That's not the game over.
No, I don't feel bad about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
I did not come through that door.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Ah, right.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Trademark.
Just follow the line.
It's trademark.
How simple is that?
They've trademarked it. I wonder if they actually trademarked it in real life. Adventure Line. I'm deviating from the line to press some buttons. Just making sure. Like, whose desk is this? A light with a pencil sharpener. Someone who's not trusted. No, I thought there was a time where you could go out the window. I might be wrong. Messy ass office. Just sort of leave shit all over the place. This one stopped accepting input. A bit disappointed. The adventure line wants me to go that direction. Not been in this direction before. Round the boxes.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience.
What the fuck is going on with this line?
Right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your
drunk.
existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
What the fuck's going on there?
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh dear. Under the desk. Wait, what? Oh, this is weird, look. Look at this. Brilliant.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Huh, okay. Apparently the fern is important. Why does the floor tiles look slightly out of place there? Just one of them. Yep, all the doors still locked.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
The line is going berserk and there's a weird texture on that one.
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Noisy motorbike. I can't get up on this table now.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Alrighty then.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
Go round in circles.
Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Poor Stanley.
Oh, no, not
there's
you
the line.
again. Stanley,
Smashed
I'd also
through
like
the
to veto the
ceiling.
line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I'm acknowledging it. I'm acknowledging how fucking crazy it is. Oh, it's fucked up there. Okay.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door
I don't like
has to lead
anti-clockwise.
somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
The confusion
what's
ending.
The confusion ending. You're
Deviate
telling
from
me
maintenance room,
that's
end
what
of
this
monitor
is?
room, narrator's
It's all
restart screen,
one
first
giant
restart discover.
ending? We're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Narrator is
So
gone.
now, according
After
to
a
the
long time,
schedule, I
Stanley
restart
dies.
again. Then what? I'm just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written
Chair,
here on
just chilling.
this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And
The game
time
restarts on
returned.
its own.
It stopped.
Oh,
Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess
get
now we
bored
just
and
wait.
leave.
You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
game restarts on its own. I like how the clock actually works. It's not showing the current time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Can I
decided to
get
go to the
please?
meeting room. Perhaps he
Just
had
let me
simply
get up
missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ah, this is it. Every restart you have to find the computer to put an input. It's not the same computer.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Now, this is the confusion ending, so I now technically kind of have to so I carry on with his instructions. So let's do this.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Targets. Push for funding for R&D of new coffee machine. So funding for research and development of new coffee machine. Standardized graphs, 40 times wide, not cost efficient. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Hire someone to synergize papers. Synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergized guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep targets and the topic of something scribbled out. Tomorrow. Complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda. Refleet. Employees. Gym. That's all this one say. Mergers. We broke Wednesday. Financial panic meeting. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Whiteboard manager. See, it's like a lot of effort gone into everything. There's no, I mean, things like chairs are obviously repeated assets, but the whiteboards are not. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no exception of... Oh, okay, it's moved. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other workers. Oh, okay. Profits. Profits! Right. Yep, okay. Oh, I thought there was someone stuck in here.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say there's nothing in here. There's stuff in here.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm gonna go downstairs. What's down here? No, I said I was going to stick with the story. I'm going to go to the boss's office. Not a particularly nice staircase to take when you go to such a nice office. Aha!
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course,
2845.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. he stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, the fire. There's like a fireplace or something moved out the way. Interesting. Interesting that such a place would be so high up in a building as well. Great set design.
Delving deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, the light just exploded.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oh look, we were up
What
there.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Employee
Each bore the
427.
number of an employee in the building.
There's
Stanley's
Stanley's.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of
Screen
them,
is out up there.
eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it
So,
blindly?
someone fired over there. Oh.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would
Okay, falls
dismantle
up
the
there.
controls once and for all.
Okay, so we need to press 1, 2, 3, then maybe? Where's 3? There's 3 over here. No, that's 5. Fuck's 3? Why are there lights spinning down here? Oh, that's 3. That was 4. I think we need to press these in order. 4. And then there was one last 5 somewhere. One, 2. Oh, there it is. 5. That does nothing. Pressing them in order does nothing. What am I supposed to press? It's all offline. Three. Is there? This button? No. I am confused from here. To be fair, I'm confused from the entire game, but... Nope, no idea how to switch this on or off. Oh, here we are. On or off?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible...
There we go. It's off. Switched it off.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And
so this is when you actually
even
follow
as
the
immense
instructions.
Door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Door? It's bloody massive.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
But it was all a dream. Maybe. What the fuck? Who left all this paper everywhere?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
There's nothing else to look at other than windows.
Now, what do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Am I sick of this gag yet? Yes. Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like, right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Miserable?
There once was...
Yep. Okay, someone's tidied up. Good.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
But can I? Right, where's that computer with the input? Give me an input. So look, it's gone. I need to input.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to a meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Maybe. Maybe I do.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Damn. The meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
There's a car in here and no...
of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during
how...
work hours, he might be
maybe
fired
down there.
for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was
so it is all a dream?
So lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me.
That's weird-ass fourth
how
wall
it's
shit.
describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was
It
that
does.
This was not
Or at
a
least to
dream.
me.
How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool
Wake up.
weight of the blanket on his skin, the press
Wake
of the mattress
up.
on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
It's gonna be a
I
jump
wish
scare
it
now.
to be over.
Can't remember.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Well, I'm not.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. In that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane.
What is
I am
normal?
in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Stanley died! Or did he? Maybe that was a dream.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
This game
Stanley
just
decided
goes
to go to the
on.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right, where's that computer with an input? Give me the input. I want to input. It's not here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting
Nope,
room,
it
and
wasn't.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
Yep.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Not specifically.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Any tanking today after this game? Yeah, I will do. Well, depends. I'm really struggling to hold back a cough because I have like crazy bad chest pains. Oh yay, the bot is working. That's good. Yeah, I've got crazy bad chest pains. I have no idea. Ugh. Yeah, it's funny as fuck, this game. It's amazing.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
I'm not
foot
going to jump
here.
over there.
I'm not your
That door's
enemy,
locked.
really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been
Do I
about
die?
nothing but you. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yep. Just checking that worked.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Where's the input? I need to input.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly.
Okay, I'll
well.
go across the elevator
Perhaps
this
he wanted
time.
to stop by the employee lounge
lift.
first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded,
Beautiful
butterflies
lounge.
in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before.
Ooh, slightly
Was
different.
it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room?
I love this room.
Truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
No.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her? Who's her?
Stanley, your chance to redeem yourself,
Can't go in
to
there.
put your work aside,
What if I go
to
back?
let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh, forklift. Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her.
Why is it just
If
plugged
you
into the
will truly
mains?
place your faith in
That's not how these.
another,
That's not how
then
phones
pick up
work.
the phone.
Thank goodness there's a British plug socket.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope.
I just unplugged it.
Life reunited one. Wait. Oh goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that
Yep.
wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves.
Oh my
to one
god,
another.
spoilers!
It comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not
Spoilers.
picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything.
I didn't know if I could
understand.
actually unplug the
How on
phone.
earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Ha. Fourth wall.
I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person.
What the
But
fuck?
if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life
That
for
tie is
citizens
swole.
of impoverished third world nations. Or
Why
he
do not
could
captions?
systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house.
What?
Which choice would you make? Remember that
Obviously,
unlike
the
here,
second.
the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then
Slide me a
provide
cat.
an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness,
kidding.
is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Thanks for the host on the school bus. Practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular
I
basis
didn't know
is the
what I was
best
supposed
part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to
Dunno.
wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
I just noticed captions like kicked in halfway through that video.
Welcome
What the
back.
fuck?
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good
What is this?
decision making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would
What
have
the
been.
fuck is
This
going
way,
on here?
please.
Oh, the plug socket's gone. Okay, so we're heading back, apparently. Can I go in here? I want to go in here. There's all shit on the floor. So much shit everywhere.
Now that we know your choices
Oh,
are meaningful,
hang
we
on.
can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
They deliberately don't want me dying. Please do not jump off the platform. Okay, so now we're headed back on ourselves. Yep, that's still locked. So there's that one. And that one. Ah, this room.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
No. I will go in here.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just
Left or right? Left or right? Which shall I take?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Where do I go? Shall I go back? Down the right again? Because, I mean, yeah, I'll go right. Yeah, okay. Right. Yep.
No! Why
What
did
the
you-
fuck's happened here?
Hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
What's going on in here? It's like the filing cabinet's all messed up. I've gone right. What the hell is going on? There's something deeply wrong with this cabinet, and also just I can't unlock the door. What's going on with the numbers on there? Okay. All the assets are fucked up. I don't want to go left. I want to go right. Oh, and paintings emerged as well. Please let me go right. Oh, okay. I'm having to go left. I'm sorry. Or maybe this way. No, that's locked. Fine. Oh dear, what the
Ruined.
fuck's...
I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a
Can't
way
go
to
over
continue,
there.
would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that?
They've done a good job with the projector that's still actually projecting properly.
Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do?
Oh, that's broken as well.
No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Never got to this point before. Oh. Well, this room isn't any better.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
I'll take the left door.
Be funny?
Honest.
You just had to see. Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect.
Oh, we started.
I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This game fucking blows my mind. It really does. There's just so much to it when you fuck around, and it's like a, you know, you choose certain bits differently. You know, you take the wrong door the correct amount of times, and it all goes mad.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story.
Oh god, my chest hurts so much when I laugh.
To the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Okay, I gotta go left. I can't go right. It just restarts. Force restarts.
Choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So I try the right one more time. One more time. Third time lucky.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Ah, I did. I was almost there.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When
Can I do
Stanley
it quick
came to a set
enough?
of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, one last time. I'll try the right, and then I think I have to go left. I'll do it very carefully.
No!
Yep, can't go any
Why
further.
did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Ah, god damn it! Okay, I'll go left,
Exactly
left
as
properly,
Stanley would.
because
That means
I can't.
choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fake left, then go right. No, the door closed. Damn it. Okay, fine, I'm going left now.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
At least the
Feeling
office
a wave
isn't
of disbelief,
all fucked
Stanley
up.
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Broom closet. Can I get in the broom closet? No, it's broken. It's locked this time. Oh, he's not going to let me go downstairs.
To his boss's office.
They've blocked off downstairs. Can I get in the... I can't get into the bathroom. Can I get into here? No. What happens if I go back here? Nothing. Well, the boss's office has changed.
Manager's office,
Now it goes
Stanley was
upstairs.
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked,
the hell?
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Is it listening to me?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
Do I actually have to talk? Is it listening to me?
Into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115? No,
I'm
it's not
sorry,
listening
is
to
there
the
a problem?
mic.
You didn't mishear me.
It doesn't
did you?
listen to the mic. I was going to say, like,
Speak
that'd be
the code into
crazy.
the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
You're not listening to me.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right.
I
You could
did not
done
have a
whatever
choice.
the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What the fuck?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
What?
Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision.
I've never got to this ending before.
Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You can't be wrong here. We can work
I've played this
together.
before.
Whatever you do, I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it.
Well.
So, you hear me?
Oh my god, music's from bensound.com. I've used music from that guy before. It's like free to use music, providing you credit him. Great for YouTube videos.
Make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
The voice actor is incredible. So much emotion. The end is never the end. And thus, we start over.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Where's the computer with the input? Please, give me the computer with the input. That is like a different ending. I can't get through the door.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
Imagine if
well.
Steve... I know.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
It would have been
first,
so good if
just
it was
to
Stephen
admire it.
Fry. It really good. I mean,
The lounge
it's
was
fantastic
grand,
as is.
majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Right, let's answer the phone. As much as the narrator
Look,
has
Stanley,
spoiled
I think
it,
perhaps we've got
what
one from the
happens when you
wrong
answer the phone?
I'm not sure.
We'll answer anyway.
Really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
I don't know, it's been a bit about you,
Someone you've been
narrator.
neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley.
We'll answer the phone.
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
We'll answer it. $427.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come
Forgot
on.
about that.
Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want
Burn?
to commit their life to you? I'm trying to
Burn!
make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I'm stuck. Creepy ass mannequin.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 47. Press L on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Please press 5.
Look at him there,
Oh.
pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Please press 7.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Please press 8 to watch TV. Okay, let's watch TV. 8.
And so he began
Oh,
to
it's gone.
fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press 5 to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that
He
his
was given a
decisions would
choice.
mean something
Go
was
through
almost too
the left,
wonderful
said
to
the
believe.
narrator. Press N to prepare dinner. Dinner.
As he
Oh,
wandered
it's gone.
through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down
That
another was a
stupid
game
line.
with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
He said the name of the game. Press R to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and
You're
so
my
in his
kids.
head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel
bed dinner.
this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press 8 to tell your wife you love her. Wife.
But there is
Oh,
no
he's gone.
answer.
She's gone.
How could
even.
there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same
427.
buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
There's a filing cabinet in the corner there which is completely inaccessible. Press exact lowercase L or that's capital I.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything
Press a
but
different
an
button next
observer.
time. Ah,
As
actually,
long
good-
as he
good
remains
idea.
Here, he's slowly killing
will.
himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Oh no! What? What should I do? I'm going to press E. I'm going to press F. I'm going to press B, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just pressing all the buttons except I. I'll press the buttons around I. Delete. Oh, WASD. Not the Windows key. Oh, what the fuck? I pressed F6 and it got rid of the thing. But now what? What if I press I now? Oh, look.
Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Mirrors. I. Keyboard. I'm stuck. Can't get out. Press F6 again. Oh, F6 was save. F7 is reload last game. Press L to question nothing. I'll press everything else. Nope. Okay, L it is. L, 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 L. L. I think I have to restart the game. There is nothing I can shift L? Caps lock L? Nope, it don't work. Begin the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Give me the computer with the input. Please. Please, input. It's gone. Just turn them all off. Did you find the ending with the different game modes?
Stanley
We
came
did,
to
yes.
a set of 2 open doors. He entered This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here
Well,
it
I
was,
think...
the lounge. What a room, Stanley thought to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought. What a room. What a room, what a room. What a room. Va-va-voom. What a room.
Yep. What a room indeed.
Really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Does he say anything else?
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Stanley's weird. Let's just abandon him.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Never! Never. We should try the drinks machine. Where's the coffee machine? Apparently this is a coffee machine that needs replacing. Coffee nut. Righto, we'll move on.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room. And took
But
the
at
first
last.
open door on his left to get back to business. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh. Well, I think maybe, with the exception of...
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
with the exception of the input on the keyboard, where you have to sort of keep restarting the game and enter the inputs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I don't think there's any other endings. Maybe. Executive bathroom. Ah, finally opens. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Why does he have glasses of water? I thought I switched that off. Yes, thank you, phone. Nope. Okay, my CCTV is just going berserk because it's sunny outside. The dirty ass mirror. Still sound of keyboards clacking as you try and activate the toilet. Oh, this one's open now. Oh, yeah, that's normal. Business strategy. Kill pandas! Apparently there's 19 endings. How many have you done? Oh my god. I don't know. And probably not all of them. Oh, a magazine called Graphs. I must buy this. Where can this be? Indoors monthly. Time with literally a clock. Shapes. The magazine. Exclusive. What's it say? Exclusive. Mike James talks about his new box. Oh, we've got a weird thing going on with the textures. Portal did this once. Do I want up or down? I don't know which way I'm going now. Am I going up or down? Oh, it's the narrator. He keeps saying Stanley. Oh, no, he's singing 2, 3, 4. Can you hear them? Right, it's having fun. How do I get out of the lift? Where is it going? Have you gone down the staircase you climbed? Yes, I have. Okay, I want to leave. I didn't go anywhere. What the fuck? Let's just go down. It's the lift that goes nowhere. It's just a metal box that shakes.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his
Can't reach the
situation.
paintings.
But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845 5482.
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that
I don't want to go back to the fucking thing again. I've already done that ending.
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Weird noise in the game. What's making
No
weird
matter how hard
noise?
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office,
Yep.
but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Sounds like it's raining, but it's definitely in game. Where, see, one of these is the input thing. I'm not sure if I have to start the game like fresh. Why does it sound so weird back here? Have you done the window? Yes, I have done the window. You start singing and I don't like it, so I quit.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office,
Yep.
because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Nope. Something might work.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right. Why is it sounding weird? And
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
it's okay. Yeah.
But
Guess
eager
you're
to
saying
get
me.
back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. Do not lie. If you're lying, right now, stop.
Stanley
Alright.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What else can I do over here? The other ending at the same place where you get the other game worlds requires you to play for 4 hours. 4 hours.
Look, Stanley,
Really?
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I think this just goes back to the other game worlds. Unless I can go through this door? No. Warning, do not stand on this side of the fence. Can't get to the other side. Red door.
Now listen carefully.
Oh yeah,
this
taking
is
the blue.
important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yep. Sure,
Oh,
hang.
thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here.
Ah, what the fuck is this?
If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
I can't walk off the edge. But down into this tiny... well, it's obviously a tiny room. Nope, it's a corridor.
No, wait, where are you going? Oh no, stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Will we? Will we lose all of this?
Please,
Stairs.
no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Stairs that go to certain death.
No!
Oh.
Thank God. No. No,
I'm not
no.
sure.
What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
This voice actor's great, but yeah, I think if this was voiced by Stephen Fry, I'd be on like the brink of crying right now. The way he's sort of, you know what he'd be like, you know,
Stanley,
crying no.
let's go back to the other room.
It's like, no!
Oh my God.
I don't want to
Is
upset
this
Stephen
really
Fry.
how much you dislike my game?
The worst thing ever.
You'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
The way it cuts the radio off is... oh... tugs at heartstrings, it
How
really
long was I
does.
sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes?
Well, I'm not going to play this game for 4
Centuries?
hours.
Did something
just to get
crucial
to
happen while my
one
senses
special
were
ending.
turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
I still can't find the one with the input. It's really annoying.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which way shall I go? Which way shall I go? Oh God, my chest is killing me. Left, right. Cannot decide. Oh, can I go back? I can't remember what other endings there are now. What other endings are there? How can I? Do I want to? Do I want to do this? Options. Add con. Oh, right. Then open the console and start type cheats. Quit menu. Quit. Right. How do I... How do I make a shortcut for it? The Stanley parable. Create desktop shortcut. A shortcut has been created on your desktop. Desktop. Let's get rid of all these. Right. Shortcuts. It's not actually there. I didn't create a desktop shortcut. Huh? Game properties. Set launch options. Minus console. That was it. Okay. Close. So aha, we now have the console. When OBS eventually, there we go. Right, so SV. Yes, SV. Ooh. Do I want to put this in now or start the game?
Stanley, this is me being serious. In fact, this is my serious room. It's where I come to be serious. That table is the most serious table I could find. I looked at many, many tables, hundreds of tables. It's possible I looked at over 1,000 tables. I honestly don't know. The specific number isn't as important as the understanding that of all tables I looked at, this one is the most serious. I relate this story to impress upon you the extent to which this is the most serious room I have, which is why I brought you here. You just tried to activate server cheats, which of course runs the risk of breaking the entire game. You've got no respect for the strict order of scripted narrative events, and I just can't have that. It's time to get serious, Stanley. No jokes, no games. Outside of this room, I might be more tolerant of those things, but now we're in the room. Which is why I'm subjecting you to the most serious punishment I can think of. 100 billion trillion years standing here in the serious room. Perhaps after that, we can talk about the severity of your actions and whether you've learned anything. But until then, serious room, go.
Stuck in the room. I mean, now what? So what happened when I actually... Let's read this. What actually happened? Where did I end that? Why? Oh right, SV cheats 1. Why? Game mode doesn't point to existing blah. Error reading weapon data file for weapon paint gun. Unable to load materials. Okay. Connection to Steam servers successful. Unknown command. Serious pass. Re-downloading all light maps. Fact secure mode disabled. Do it again. Right.
Whoa. Did we not have the talk? Are we not in the serious room this very moment? Did I not tell you how many tables I looked through? I'm going to be conservative and say it was somewhere in the tens of thousands of tables. Any reasonable person would say I spent an absurd amount of time doing nothing but looking at tables, and I genuinely considered each one too. I took a hell of a lot of notes. I kept the notes in a different room. That room is less serious than this one. It's more of a notes room. Again, the point of this story is to convey how serious I feel this cheating issue is. And I'm sure you'll agree with me once you've fulfilled your new punishment. Infinity years in the serious room. I generally have trouble reading human emotions, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you're devastated by this crippling new punishment. As well you should be. It's the most serious I could think of. Can you get more serious than that? No, you can't. Don't try.
Should I do it again? I'll do it again.
Still no effect. The problem is clearly the serious room. It isn't serious enough. That's on me, Stanley. I apologize. I'm going to the store to look through more tables. Hopefully I find one that conveys how wrong what you're doing is. Now, where did I put those notes?
Again! Oh, he literally just stops talking. Again? Oh yeah, no clip's a thing, isn't it? No clip. Oh, hang on. Do I have to do like no clip 1? No. How do you... What? How do you no clip? Or is it like SV underscore? Have you closed your office door at the very start? No. Begin the game again.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
What happens if I do that for a second time?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial...
There was a phone ringing.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days?
That might be it.
Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Ah, input. Awaiting input. Input received. Have you done the maintenance elevator 3 times? No. How many times do I have to do this though? What happens if I begin the game again? Will it take my second input?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Look,
What
there's-
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ah, okay, let's just do this. I'm pretty certain this is a thing.
All
I
of his
just need to
co-workers were gone. What
Check
could
all
it
the
mean?
computers.
Stanley decided
obviously
to
it
go
keeps
to the
moving
meeting
around.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's gone. Why is it gone? Where's the second computer? Oh, sorry, third one. Boss's secretary. Ah. That's where I keep missing it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Okay,
he entered
upstairs
the
we
door
go.
on his left.
No one in the
Yet there
meeting
was not
room.
a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Begin the game again.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
What's going on? Why is it? There we are. Begin the game again. Where is the final one? Is it by any chance there? I thought it might be. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. Buttons everywhere. Ah, I can press all the buttons. I can crouch and press these buttons. Can I press all the buttons? I can't reach those ones. Oh. The heavenly sounds are literally just the words buttons. Can I press all the buttons? I'm going to try and press all the buttons. Sorry if the noise is like really annoying. I'm going to turn my volume down. Are they staying pressed? Are they resetting? They're resetting! That's not fair! That's not fair at all. Well, begin the game again. That's that ending. Okay, so maintenance elevator 3 times. Whose phone's ringing?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work.
What?
The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded
can't terminate
message
it.
into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Well then. Ignore recorded messages. Also, there's no narrator. Well on, so it is.
Stanley came to
Oh,
a set
narrator's
of
back.
2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
So maintenance elevator is this
This
direction.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Admire.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
105,000 remaining on object
And
416.
so he detoured through the
Oh,
maintenance section,
do not envy.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Right, so do I just take this, restart and take it again? Or what do I do?
But Stanley didn't want to
I mean,
go
I've taken
back
this
to the
once
office.
already,
He
but
wanted
this
to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go from here. It's left.
Get to the monitor room, restart, repeat.
Oh no, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
No. This isn't right.
So,
at all. You're not supposed to be
I
here.
restart,
This
he
is your
restarts.
Spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to Oh.
See, the thing
Am I
is,
kidding?
it says
It's
this is a
rubbish
spoiler.
now. The whole story completely unusable. How about rather
bridges
than
are
waste my
already in
time
place.
trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay. On the top.
Nope. Dun 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 dun.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, let's do that again. Enter the door on my...
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything?
I
when
guess
we
I'm
were back
supposed
in
to
that
take
room
this
with
door
all the
still.
monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
One moment. A text message. Oh. This is not working.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can
Now the
promise
adventure
you
line's going to
there
kick in.
definitely was a story here
I
before.
don't want the adventure line. The
just-
adventure
Do we
line
need
is
to restart
boring.
the game again? Well, I find
It's
it
funny,
unlikely
but-
that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think you have done this then.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might
I've
be
not taken that
remembering this wrong.
lift 3
It's
times
possible
though.
The story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story.
what we've done.
Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
It's this one. Misunderstood. It refers to narrator restarting a game like this, not taking the elevator 3
Now this-
times.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building.
Gone.
Is that
Magic.
correct?
Magic.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Again.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no.
I'm going to try something though. What if I do take the elevator 3 times? And just restart the moment I get the bottom.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Will
mean?
that do anything?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
That might do
simply missed a
something.
memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first. just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So what if I get to the bottom of this? Is this a thing? And then I'll restart?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Okay, let's check. Stanley. Parable endings. All the endings. Oh my goodness, there's like a massive flowchart. Yep, we've had the confusion ending. Oh my god, start. Right. Door, window, that thing. Door choice, left, room closet. Or staircase, down, insane. Up, boss, back out, escape pod. Escape pod? Catwalk, secret. Ooh. Okay, hang on. I'm going to do this. I need to open this up over here so I can see the chat. Begin the game again. So start. What do they mean by start door window app? Not answering that phone again. What do they mean? Staircase. Oh, actually, we not turned the power on. Did we? Turned it off.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Come on, Stanley, faster.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
Go
wave
to the
of
top.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go
Get on
up
top of
to
the
his
desk.
boss's office,
First,
hoping
walk
he
through the
might
window.
find
This
an answer
possibly
there.
by walking up the chair and continuing on top of it, then crouch, leave the window. Stanley will be given a choice. Say no. Yeah, so yes, no. Oh, right. Yeah, so I've already
Coming
chosen
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
the one that way sings a song. Right.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
So,
indication of
2,
any human life. Shocked,
8,
unraveled,
4,
Stanley
5.
wondered in disbelief who... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Cool. Open the fucking fireplace,
Feeling
please.
soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel
Wait, before
this
going
now,
up
when
and
for
display
years
room,
it had
press
never
light
occurred
bulb
to him?
button.
This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
Escape.
Control Facility.
Oh,
Although this
let's try this
passageway had
escape.
the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
So I've already killed myself a few times in this game.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Is he gonna die? I see on the flowchart what's gonna happen.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh, shit. Office layout. Stanley. Hang on, let's read this. I'm going to read this. The blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path of Stanley's office to the two doors was the first path of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered through development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. The pacing of the opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in good time. The two doors. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged. It's an extension of an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. What's this? Filing cabinets. The different assets. Office computers. That I can still turn off. That one just had solitaire on it. The office. Button sounds. A selection of sounds used through the game where buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Credits. Cool. Well done, all these people. Can you open those doors? Good question. Locked. 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 Nice place. Let's go right. Because, you know, so used to going right. A clock. Boss's office. Screens form the development of the boss's office. And they went with the middle one. Let's go upstairs. Check this out. Freedom ending, yep. Oh, the very first incarnation of the freedom ending. Oh, lots of stuff. Those had stuff on it. Countdown desk. On a desk from an early version of the countdown ending. Oh, it's doing it. Oh, okay. Window that sees nowhere. The other freedom ending. In beta? Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with the freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and down, and placed the two endings together instead. The countdown room itself, an early version. That's the exit. Oh, what's this? Game design mock-up. This is level fucking too pixely. Right, there we are. Design spent table, blah 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 blah. Where is the tank? I'll do that this afternoon. I will come back after some lunch. So good news. Extra streaming. Narrator emails. After the second trailer we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotion materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. From Anthony W. Who's the strange... Oh, right. Question. Are you a rock? That's a projector. No, I mean in this game. Is there a tank in this game? What do the lights in the control room do? I really want to know. Actually, that's a good question. Because they seemingly do nothing. What is your message for today? Sent from my iPad. All the game feature. Capybaras. Is that weird animal, isn't it? Unusual looking animal. Well, as much as I could stay there reading those all day, I'm not going to. The lounge? That's a boring version of the lounge. I'm glad they improved it. Office stuff. The phone. Oh, apartment stuff. Oh, countdown. Flip clock. Yep, that's how flip clocks work. They reverse. They defy gravity and flip upwards. Option 1. Option 2. Option 3. Wait, option 4? There's a vent? Hang on. Oh, right. Meeting room. There, they added an object 140 in it. What? What are you on about? There's no tank in here. We got this. A Tron version. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realised shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. I like the Tron version though. That'd be cool. Panels. Right, have I seen everything? I've come out here now. Right. think I've seen everything. Did I go in here? I went in there. I went in there. I went in there. Did I go over here? I can't remember. Boom on the microphone. Oh, what was in here? Can I get down there? I'll get down there. Ah, here we are. Employee lounge. Early version of the mind control library. Narrator outtakes. Barely hear it. Where is it?
Then he pushed the number 4.
Where is the sound coming from? I can't hear it. Like, I can barely hear it. Anyway. Let's exit this. And I think the exit was up here, wasn't it? To go up, to go down.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Do I let him get squished? I'm gonna let him get squished.
Time
Well. Such a tease. Begin the game again. Doesn't go anywhere from there, I don't think. Right. What else? Now we have to go.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Shall take
When
the
Stanley
door
came
on the
to a set of
left.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's go up to the boss's office. Put the
Yet
correct
there was
code
not a
in.
single
Not
person
deviate
here
from the
either.
track.
Feeling a wave of
And
disbelief,
power
Stanley
on,
decided to
not
go up
off.
to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
2845.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Even the way it gets tired. Go through this
Stanley
way.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
Yep, not going
Facility.
down there. Done that. Catwalk. So, right, this says catwalk. Wait before going up in display room and press light bulb button. How long do I wait? Where do I wait? Did I wait long enough? It's saying I should wait. And because there's a secret disco? Where is the secret disco? How long do I wait? It's not very clear. It just says wait. Okay, I'm gonna go press the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
If you stay in the mind control long enough, the gates take you back.
Stanley thought to himself.
Ah, right.
Did he have the strength to find out?
So, stay in the mind control facility long enough, the gates that take you back open and allow access to the light button, which will trigger it. Cool. So let's go here. So is that gate closed? This one closes?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
What the fuck's up
Each
with that
bore
monitor?
the number of an employee in the building.
like
Stanley's
one
co-workers. The lives of so
direct in
many
the middle doesn't
individuals
actually have
reduced
numbers
to
on it.
Images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control
Right.
all this time?
So instead of getting in the
Was this
elevator,
any reason he was happy with his boring
I'll
job?
wait.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
let's wait until the gates open. How long do we have to wait? Yeah, so wait before going up. How far do I have to go? Do I go this far? No. Not doing it all again. Ha! Aha! And then we press the light button. Yeah, secret disco. And you can walk through the text. Ah, text. Aww.
He refused to believe it. He
They're still
couldn't
doing
accept it. His
the
own
screens.
life
That's
in
cool.
Someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
I like the secret
Wasn't
disco.
it?
That was cool.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
William Hyde's best sequence.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content.
What's this button?
Walking, eating, working.
Doesn't work.
All of it monitored and commanded from this.
Okay, so I turned it off last
As
time.
the cold reality of his
This
past
time,
began to sink in.
should turn
Stanley
it
decided
on.
that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Yeah, I would.
He
Boom.
would
Pressed on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yeah.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yeah, it's working life for you.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much
5.
better than that.
What's this
I'm
button?
afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll
5,
find this pertinent,
3.
Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In
Where's
the
that
event
4?
that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear
2.
detonators are set to explode, eliminating
Where's
the
3?
entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2
3.
minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere
There's 5.
moments until
5
the
was somewhere
bomb
down
goes off.
there.
But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where
Does
to
this work?
start.
Is this going to do anything?
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them.
Okay, so I'll press that.
I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course,
Oh,
that
it
was
was
merely
him.
in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office
It
sink
said
into the
re-enter
ground,
passcode.
swallowing everyone inside, or
Did
I
it?
let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this though, this version of events has been rather amusing.
Please re-enter
Watching you
passcode.
try to make sense of everything and take
So what
back
was
the
the code?
control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be
Oh.
even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know
5,
what?
2, 1?
To hell with it.
I don't have a
I'm
0
going to
button.
Put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley.
Oh,
Time
close the
doesn't
door.
grow on trees.
Okay, so it's 5, 2,
What's the
1.
matter, Stanley?
Maybe.
Is it
Or
that you
1,
have no
4,
idea where
2?
you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean,
Well, let's-
look at you, running from button
Let's
to
try
button,
5, 2,
screen
1.
to screen, clicking on every little thing
5.
in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
2.
That this video game can be beaten?
1.
Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
And then the button.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a
Oh.
spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death.
Oh, I can't press the
You're only
button
still
now.
playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you...
Off doesn't work, but... So.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully?
Goodbye,
Choice.
employee
Make
427.
it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke.
Everything
And
just
believe
shakes
me,
more.
I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to get past that. But in the flowchart, it doesn't show it. Okay. Keypad, question, or quicker than the voiceover for music? Right. What other things we got? Maintenance, elevator, confusion, hallway, left, cargo, upwards, phone, answer, work, unplug, choice. Okay. Or cargo, down, death. Jump on catwalk. Poor choice. Yeah, the escape pod, that was... Actually, that's a good point.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I thought I took the escape pod.
Stanley
That
decided to go
actually...
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right. Okay, so let's go back to the boss's office and then we go back out. And there's apparently an escape
When Stanley
pod.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to
Immediately
his
leave
boss's office.
and come back
Coming
here.
to a staircase,
Right.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So wait, you go in the room, in this room, and then back out, or... Oh no, I can't. It's locked.
Here's the door, just go.
No, I want to go back out. Like, how far do I into the boss's room do I have to go? Because I mean, I think I've overdid it. Begin the game again. This isn't right. What's happened here? This is not the layout. He's taking me straight to here. What the fuck? He's getting sick of me running around.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, so let me walk in and then back out. Oh, quickly enter his doors slowly and quickly step back when they begin to close.
Here's the door, just go.
Nope, can't do it. Can't do it. Doesn't work. Because when they begin to close... Release me. Here we are.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started. And if it
That's what
did,
it
it
sounded
stopped
like.
shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Yeah, I thought I could hear rain.
When Stanley came
in
to
the
a set
game.
of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, he's already doing that thing. I guess just wait inside.
Here's the door.
Ah! Oh, I did that! Ah ha ha ha! Okay, it's difficult to do, but it's doable. How far do I go? Do I go back to this? Boom. It's just a boom. Yep, no, still locked. Locked, locked, locked. Close that behind me apparently. Locked. Do I go back to my room? Oh, this door's open. It's working. Oh, it's working. You are now leaving. I am now leaving. Escape pod. Oh. This door locked. That's... Wait, that's the office I walked through. This is the window you climb out of and get into nowhere. Oh, this is so weird. Elevator does nothing. Floor 760. the same. 760. 760. Couple more to go. Red door. All the same. Red door. Seven, 5, 8. Literally 2 more to go. Oh, it's so fucking dark, this game. I can't see it. Yeah. Ah. I clicked a fancy winking snom face. What does that do? Where? Where'd you click that? Oh, right, on the stream. That I think that just gives you more of the fox poop things. Escape pod. Escape pod. Oh. Here it is. Why has the bottom of the screen? Well, I did the escape pod ending, which just seemed to just take me back here anyway.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others.
One of the banners prior to the escape pod says
Just a
that
matter of
both
time.
the narrator and player must be present for the escape pod to work. Because the narrator is not with Stanley, the pod does not function and the game restarts. How the fuck am I supposed to get the narrator with me? I mean, my thing, you don't. That was it. Oh, okay. Forwards. What else? Oh, bloody hell. So looking at the flow
Stanley
Flow
stood
chart.
for a long time in one spot. It's part of the game. He likes to see how long he can go without dying. So far, he's doing excellent. And
Yep.
if he just stays right where he is, I'm sure he'll keep up that good momentum. Let's observe the genius at work.
oh cool, someone's done a loots thing. Thank you. Who done it? What's it say? It says ooh. Very surprised cat. Thank you. Right, yeah, looking at the flow chart. Cargo, jump on the catwalk, door choice. You can choose red, it goes to space. You choose blue, then red goes to space. Choose blue twice, then red goes to space. But if you choose blue all 3 times, it takes you to the baby game, which I've done. And then it does other games things. But if you play the baby game for 4 hours, 4 hours, it will take you to art, apparently. Climb out. Oh, actually, we haven't climbed out the window and chosen the other option. Can I climb out the window? I think it needs to be a specific chair. Because that's not the chair I can climb on. What happens if I restart the game again? Oh, what the fuck is this?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
Welcome to the whiteboard ending. Console bark. Say bark. Unknown command or just bark. I swear that says bark. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now that I press E, it barks. Oh, what a lovely little Easter egg that is. Except when you try and open the doors,
but
otherwise.
Nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh my god, that is fucking genius. Oh, I wonder if that just works straight from the beginning. You don't have to do the whiteboard ending. What is that? I don't know how I got there. This is genius. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, I don't want to take these doors anymore. I want to go out the window. Begin the game.
But Stanley simply...
Oh. I want... when you restart the game, it clears the console.
All of his co-workers were
Bark. Oh.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
No, that's not working. Bark.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, you have to get to the whiteboard ending.
No matter
Oh,
how
no,
hard
no.
Stanley looked,
It's doing it!
he couldn't
Yes!
find a trace of his co-workers.
It's the wrong chair.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the
And
office,
barking.
but it didn't make a single difference. Nor did it.
I need to make sure there's the right chair. I swear the chairs move around.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I
No
can't...
matter how hard Stanley looked,
Can't
he
get on the
couldn't find a
chair.
trace of his co-workers.
Oh, no, there we go. Oh, shit, I fell off. There we go. There we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Okay, so there is one thing we haven't yet done, and that's called face punch texture change. But it's saying after you type face punch and it takes you back to the start again. But how on earth do you get to the face punch texture change? Begin the game again. Also, how I got to the whiteboard ending, it literally just says sometimes blue office, open door, whiteboard. Face punch.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
No, don't worry. Begin the game again. Oh, it's the...
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just
all
a matter
paper.
of time.
Is this the face punch thing? Don't look at the door when you type it. That's still working. Oh, okay. That's how you do it. Literally type face punch and it does this. Well, this is it's very uneasy. So I'll just go around barking. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Love the barking.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Even the textures on the handles and everything.
The
Oh
lounge
God,
was sublime.
it is
A work of
hideous, isn't
art.
it? Really.
What was it about this room that called so deeply? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Everything, everywhere. Oh God, look at the
Stanley was so
cargo
bad at
room.
following directions, it's
Oh,
incredible he
God.
was 5 years ago.
It's hideous, really. Let's be honest. Well, I think that was every ending. We've done Reluctant, we've done this Climb Out the Window, we've done the Whiteboard Serious, Heaven, I've done Insane, Escape Pod, Elevator, which elevator just does nothing. Go on the lift, jump back where you are now and then jump down. Oh, is that a thing?
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what... Whoops, looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
That's not on the flowchart. Literally, the flowchart says forward cargo, upwards phone, or jump down death and then jump catwalk to those door choices. Why? It's a variant of death.
All
Oh,
his
okay.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Done the
memo.
museum, secret disco bomb, life. Literally the only other one we've not done is art, but that requires playing the baby game for 4 hours. And I've been on this for 3 hours, and I think now is a good time to wrap up so I can go get some lunch. So that was the Stanley Parable, and I keep saying it. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Stanley Parable. There we are.
No matter how hard
there you
Stanley
go.
looked, he
It's
couldn't
changed
find a
textures out
trace
there.
of his
Shows how
co-workers.
small out there is. Right. Oh, out there's kind of small as well. God, it's so horrible. Great game. Really good fun. Playing it
When
for the
Stanley
first
came to a
time
set of 2 open doors,
ages
he
ago
entered the
was
door and
mind-blowing.
left.
Playing it again now and having done all the endings, all bar one, makes it that bit more awesome. Love the barking. It's so funny. So funny. So I'm going to end it there. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back in about an hour or a little longer for a few hours of tanks. Why not? So yeah, there we go. Alright, I'll end it there. Thank you, and hopefully see you in a bit. See you later. Thank you. Bye.